This is my Orbea Orca OMX. I know I am incredibly lucky to be able to ride such nice bikes. It's definitely one of the perks of being a professional cyclist and a presenter here at GCN. But before we go on and I tell you more about this bike, can we just take a minute to look at these forks? Shiny. I usually always opt for an aerodynamic frame over lightweight, just because I was more of a sprinter when I was racing. But this bike has both. It is super lightweight for a disc brake bike, and it also is really aerodynamic with the tube shape, the drop seat stays, and the integrated cables. If you're wondering where I got my forks from, Orbea have a My O program. It's basically a custom paint program where you can completely customize your bike. They have tons of patterns and colours to choose from. I spent a good few days trying to narrow it down to what I wanted, and of course I had to go for some pretty snazzy forks for my first ever custom bike, and I think I did a pretty good job. I mean, colour coordinating isn't my strong point, but I'm pretty pleased. Matches the GCN kit quite nicely. I am a sucker for a matte black bike, but I thought I'd push the boat out a bit. I've gone for a fade from grey to black on the frame with some red decals there and on the forks and on the front here. And if you're wondering, the size of the bike is 49 centimetres. I've got OC road handlebars and stem on there too, keeping things nice and integrated. The internal cable route ring goes in through the stem underneath there and then down through the head tube, keeping it all nice and neat. I also have this faceplate computer mount which I can attach my Wahoo to. When I first got this bike, it came with a bit of a chimney, and we all know I can't have a chimney on my bike, especially when I'm so critical about them. So I had to take all of these split spacers off, slam the stem because I like to ride it quite a low handlebar, put the stem back on, chop the chimney, and now you can see it's nice and flat. No chimney in sight. The seat post clamp is integrated into the frame at the bottom here, making it nice and neat and aerodynamic. I'm riding a Fizik Argo R1 saddle. Another thing that I've done to the bike to make it fit me a lot better is adjusted the seat clamps at the top here, which the saddle is attached to. These are actually reversible, so I wanted my setback to come a lot more forward than it was. So I just flipped these round to allow the saddle to come further forward. I'm running Sram Red Etap 12-speed on here, and this is actually the very first year that I've used electronic gearing. And it is a little bit different to what I'm used to. So on this, the shifting's quite different. So if I want to go into the big ring or the little ring, you have to press both the shifters at the same time. And that took a few rides to get used to. And different to Di2, where you would plug it in here to charge. The batteries are actually one on the front and one on the rear, and you can just pop them on and off. I'm running a 48-35 chainring on the front and a 10-28 cassette on the rear. There is loads of tyre clearance on this bike. You can fit up to 32mm tyres on it. I'm actually only running 25s at the moment. It's also got these silver Sram Red brake calipers, a little different to the black that I'm used to. I've got Mavic Ksyrium disc brake wheels with some pink Pirelli tyres that I should probably change because pink and red, well, that's a bit of a clash, but we'll roll with it for now. And I all know you're dying to know my measurements. So my saddle height is 68 centimetres, my sit back is 6.6, I have a reach from saddle to handlebars is 56, got 100mm stem, 42 centimetre bars, 170mm cranks, and some Shimano pedals. I haven't got any fancy scales with me, but I have got this little gadget, so I'm going to give the bike away and see how much it comes in at. So I've just weighed the bike and it's come in at 7.85 kilos. I hope you've enjoyed exploring my Orbea Orca OMX. Let me know what you think of it in the comments section below. And I think it's time for a poll in the GCN app. Is this bike a nice or a super nice? Head over to the GCN app and get voting.